I've come to bargain. That's how I feel like when I'm saying this, when I'm coming to these things. But so I have a theory. And once again, welcome everybody. My name's Anthony. This is the Popcorn Muncher. This is a new channel just starting up. But hey, if you could please like and subscribe. Hopefully, we can build this channel up and build a community on this thing. But I have quite a theory on my end. I don't know if it has been out there. I haven't done much good research. I'm not really good at that stuff. I'll try my best to do it, but as far as for when I put these videos out, doesn't mean I'm going to actually get all the research done. So feel free to comment on below in the comment section and tell me where I'm wrong, where I'm right, and make contradictory post comments on there. But anyway, my theory basically is have to deal with Steve Rogers, Captain America. Let's deal with his shield that he gave to Sam Wilson, and also have to deal with the end of quick Endgame. Now, basically, we all remember at the end of Endgame, Steve Rogers is dancing with Peggy Carter. Even though that's the end of Endgame, I also believe that this is going to be the end of when they're done wrapping up Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. I think we're going to loop back into that dancing scene as far as for is concerned. The reason why I'm saying that is because I don't believe that the Stones was ever returned by Steve Rogers. The reason why I say that is because you have this things like the Space Stone. It cannot go back into the Tesseract. Tesseract was destroyed. And you have the Reality Stone. There's no way Steve Rogers can put that back into Jane Foster. Stuff like that is good. You have to think about things like that. Also, what I believe this is have to deal with the TVA. If anybody was listening to it, saw any of these rumors out there, basically it has to deal with the TVA as well. I believe the TVA is going to have to deal with something with this, and the reason why this whole thing is being looped around. I definitely quite. Definitely feel that that's definitely something that we have to think about. But before I go any further, I just want to say that this could be a spoil. This might as well might have to put that spoiler warning out there because I might be right. I don't know. I don't have no connections or anything like that. But I'm still going to put the spoil. I still want to put that spoiler warning out there for anybody who don't want to be spoiled on anything of anything. Put that pause on there. Put that put that in your like section. Come back later on, a year or a half from now, and see if I'm right. If I'm wrong, whatever. Like once again, you can argue in the comment section. But definitely, once again, I'm putting out this spoiler warning just in case I'm actually right. So you've been warned. What I believe is going to happen is that just like what happened with Loki when in this first episode of Loki, where the TVA shows up and erases that timeline, I believe that they're going to show up for Steve Rogers as well. People think that they just erase the timeline, just goes back, and it only went back to the part where he actually did the jumping and took the space stone and disappeared. No, I think it's going to be more than that. I think they're going to erase the whole heist, every single thing that happened, and take Steve Rogers with them. And this will definitely put Steve Rogers in that part where he's basically is the man, the man out of the time or soldier out of time, however you want to put it. But I think those stones that Steve Rogers has already had, those Infinity Stones, is going to end up in that drawer with the rest of those, and when we saw in Loki, with the rest of those stones from the other universes, is going to end up in the same type of desk drawer, like it was worthless paperweights. And also for Thor's hammer, I think that's going to end up in maybe in a closet or in the TVA or maybe the armory. Who knows? Maybe B-15 or one of those other characters might actually end up getting it, and they get to use it. Maybe see Ouroboros around flying around with it. Who knows? You know how Marvel like to go with these things. But I think what the part is going to happen is that if you all remembered in the end of Endgame, Steve Rogers' shield was destroyed, and there was no way that Steve Rogers should have showed up as the old man with a brand new shield. There was no time, point in time that he could have got that repaired and brung it back. Because if you remember, if it was like the theory was actually true that he just went back in time and just lived off his life, lived through his life throughout the whole history or whatever, and came through that shield that he has there. would have to go to that Captain America that is in that timeline. There was to be no way that he would be able to get that shield and bring it over to Sam Wilson. What I think it is, it could be on the two things that could happen with that. Out of A, yes, he had that shield that he got back. He went back when he went back in time to try to replace the stones. He wound up getting that shield, taking it with him from that destroyed universe, erased universe, whatever. Or B, I believe this will be the perfect writing in this. I know some people might not like it, but I think this will be a perfect writing because the thing is that we're supposed to be going on to a new rebooted universe, so you don't have to worry about the actor being, erased from time or whatever like that. He might be able to plug into the new rebooted universe. I believe that would be quite fitting that you have Sam Wilson sacrifice himself somehow and end up giving the shield, the same shield that Steve Rogers gave to him, back. And as far as a Doomsday coin or Secret Wars or something like that, that he ends up sacrificing himself to save out of Steve or save something else, do something that's heroic for his character, and quite a tearjerker moment, gives back that shield to Steve Rogers to start the loop over again. And what winds up happening at the end, of course, is Steve Rogers giving that shield back as an old man to Sam Wilson and back in time, which then starts a funny a funny paradox, which is called the bootstrap paradox. If you don't know about the bootstrap paradox, basically it is an item or a thought that shows there's no beginning and is always in a type of loop. Perfect example of that is Marty McFly in Back to the Future when he went back in time, playing the guitar, playing Johnny B. Good in 1955. That inspired Chuck Berry to write the song, which Marty ends up learning in the future and keeps the casual loop over and over. And this song has no clear origin. I believe that would be a cool thing to have with the Captain America shield. So it looks like quite be the symbol for the Avengers as well. The Avengers have no true origin. It just always is and always will be there. But I believe that's what's basically going to happen on this, and quite it was going to wind up being repeated over and over again. And then at the end of whatever happens in between these things, because of course I don't know these things. Once again, I'm not in the production, so I don't really know anything that's going to actually really happen in Doomsday or Secret Wars. So I think that's what's going to happen at the end. Captain America Steve Rogers wound up getting the shield from Bucky, and then wound up going back to that time frame where he dances with Peggy, and that part where he dances with Peggy will be the new rebooted MCU, where they start over again, where this will be the MCU that has not only quite the Avengers, it will have the Fantastic Four in there, and it will have the X-Men in that universe, and everything will be corrected from that timeline period. So let me know what you guys think of this. And hopefully, once again, once Corey come out with more videos, I'll be more or less stuttering and actually have some good videos out here. But anyway, once again, if I like and subscribe and see how we go with this. Thank you once again. Have a good day.